hear that? It's the sound of a franchise that peaked in the 90s when a little girl used uneven bars to kick a velociraptor out of a window, killing it. While Jurassic Cretaceous Park looms large over any discussion of dinosaurs in media nowadays, I think there's a lot of magic to be found in smaller budget depictions of the beasts beyond time. Of course, dinosaurs are a family that are going to be broadly represented in commercial advertising because people have long been fascinated by them. After all, people have been finding fossils longer than we've understood them, longer than we've been naming them. Science has come a long way, and though a lot of these depictions are remarkably unscientific, I think there's something to be said for out-of-date depictions of dinosaurs. There's something quaint and cute about them, they're a little bit more of the realm of fantasy. Today I'm going to present 10 dinosaur commercials from yesteryear with all kinds of sauropods and theropods stomping about inside. Personally, I've been on a bit of a dinosaur kick myself after replaying Dino Crisis 1 and 2, so this has been a long time coming. Without further ado, why don't we hop into the dig site and see what we can unearth.
Watch out! New dinosaur soup has 5 new dinosaurs. Just for you, Deliciosaurus, Nudiflorus, hits the chorus. New dinosaur soup from Campbell. Come on, New dinosaur soup from Campbell. Triceratops, and I'm T-Rex, Brontosaurus, Stegosaurus, Diplodocus can't stop us. Good fun for Campbell kids like you. Dinosaur soup from Campbell.
This commercial might have placed higher, but there was too much time and animation wasted on hopped-up cave children, calling immediately to mind one of the worst shows and certainly the worst opening theme ever. I love these squiggly, low-detail dinos. They're like Klasky Chupo and Memphis Milano had a baby. The music isn't half bad, but the refrain of Dinosaur Soup from Campbell's, sung like it's the second coming of Christ, is a little rich for my tastes.
Dinosaur soup from Campbell.
Note this print ad in which Campbell's touts their product as free of MSG. There's even a big yellow sign on the can. This was that circa 60s to 2000s period during which monosodium glutamate was linked to the racist idea of Chinese restaurant syndrome, which supposedly made you giddy and gave you a headache. Except it's total bunk, proving this fad of anti-vax and seed oil fear-mongering fake science to sell you crap has been an insidious poison in the fabric of our society for much longer than the 24-hour news cycle. I distinctly remember my mother saying that MSG was scary and bad and this or that food had too much of it, so we couldn't eat it. After a 1968 article suggested MSG as the cause for a slew of negative health outcomes, the media ran with it, even though the National Research Council determined MSG was safe for consumption pretty early on. The whole idea was part of a much larger campaign of racism against Asian cultures through their cuisine, deeming it exotic and dangerous. And do you know what red-blooded US of American food is also full of MSG? Hot dogs, lunch meat, ketchup, corn, and cheese. Doesn't get much more American than that, does it? Good thing the dinosaurs aren't around to eat any of this stuff, but all that being said, I'm a sucker for pasta that's shaped like something. Keep that in mind as we move on.
Help, Johnny! Oi! Help, Paolo! Help! Thanks, Taka!
Unfruit Punch, Bibo. Now in 1.5 liter fun size.
Bibo is a fruit-flavored soft drink owned by Coca-Cola, a company that has never done anything wrong. And that's why there's a website called killercoke.org that you can visit right now. Apparently this drink is sold in Canada, so I'll have to defer to my Canadian viewers for a flavor review, but the animation in this commercial is remarkable. It was produced by Red Rover Studios, which was founded in London in 1994 by Andy and Lindsay Knight. Andy was creative director on Joseph, King of Dreams, and Red Rover contributed to a number of other projects, including All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, and Nomeo and Juliet, before being acquired by House of Cool in 2008 and then Wildbrain in 2023. Check out this T-Rex. It breaks my heart that I couldn't find it in better quality because he's got great expressions. I love this little skid to a halt. It feels very Looney Tunes. Maybe extreme sports fruit people should stop using living creatures as roller skate ramps. Just a thought. Next up.
Depois de encontrarem vestígios de novos dinossauros, os arqueólogos finalmente descobrem de onde eles vieram. Os pacotinhos de Elma são os Gangsauros. Tem o Velociraptor rápido, feroz, o punk dos dinossauros. Tem o Ultrasauro, uma eterna apaixonada, tem 8 corações. Tudo isso para você colar neste pôster. E você pode achar uma figurinha especial ou até ganhar um videogame. Gangsauros Elma X. Eles vieram da pré-história para você se divertir.
Elma Chips. Apparently this subsidiary was founded in 1974 after PepsiCo bought a few Brazilian companies with its filthy conglomerate money. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of PepsiCo's vile record with regards to palm oil, or how they contributed $1.7 million to oppose California's Prop 37, which would mandate the disclosure of GMO crops used in food products. But really, you're kidding yourself if you think they produce anything but bottom-of-the-barrel junk food anyways, meant to be eaten sparingly if at all. You may be wondering what these little inclusions are with the Elma Chips bags. Well, they're called Tazos, which are essentially Frito-Lay trying to reinvent Pogs. I don't speak Portuguese, but it seems like a crack team of paleobiologists have located dinosaurs in their local grocery store. What follows is a delightful animated take on 2 of the characters you can find on the Tazos. Velociraptor looks like a real tough customer, and I love that he's got a nunchuck to add to his street style. Street gang members were totally packing nunchucks back in the 80s, right? Meanwhile, Ultrasaurus is a gorgeous little fashionista with kissable lips and a sharp 80s ensemble. The whole line of characters is referred to as Gangsauros, which means I guess they're in a gang. Looking at the Tazos themselves adds a lot of context. There's so much adorable art. I kinda love Dilophosaurus being depicted as this oiled-up biker twink, and his girlfriend / random gym dino is just as cute. These are capital F furries, or should I say capital S scalies. The minds of the Brazilian population were definitely getting primed for anthropomorphic dinosaurs back in the 80s. Here's a few more. Gamers, don't be like Eoraptor. Be more like Archaeopteryx. Before we go, here's a little more poster art of them. I love how much print media you can find associated with old commercials these days. Shall we move on to our next pick?
The Dairylea inside new Dairylea Dunkers is so delicious and creamy, you'll want to dunk almost anything into it. However, we recommend you dunk the breadsticks provided. Out now, the Dairylea you can dunk.
You're not crazy. That's Ray Harryhausen's T-Rex. This commercial was produced by J. Walter Thompson Ad Agency and filmed in the Canary Islands, just like Harryhausen's groundbreaking stop-motion dinosaur film, 1 Million Years BC, from 1966. In fact, Harryhausen directed this commercial along with Mark Nunnally, although that's not Raquel Welch. Back in the 60s and even bleeding into the 80s and 90s, T-Rexes were portrayed as standing upright. You can see depictions like that up until Jurassic Park in 1993, which was one of the first times a T-Rex was shown more accurately as leaning forward. The Land Before Time 2, however, which came out in 1994, still has its sharp teeth walking upright. This is one of the few commercials in this set with an actual death in it. I can't believe they aired this on TV, but they're subtle enough about it, I guess. The expressions on this puppet are really great. So, Kraft Heinz is actually defunct as of only a few days ago. The owners split it up in September 2025, and there's a big brouhaha over that. But I can't find any specific malfeasance, so I will tell you that this is not cheese. Next up, a claymation blood content warning.
Even the mighty Triceratops was a mere lizard compared to the king of dinosaurs.
You may be asking, Aurelina, this can't be a real commercial. Well, it is. Wilfington Studios produced this one, and what I've shown is the gag version, not meant for distribution. I do have one more to go with this, but unfortunately, despite searching dozens of hours of raw, unlabeled VHS uploads from the year this commercial aired, I couldn't find a free version. So kudos to RetroTie.com and their YouTube channel. Here's a quick clip of the song.
Don't you dare eat the feet till you've taken out the snout. Keep your paws off the claws. The tummy's what it's all about. Now it's fine to eat the spine, one spike at a time, yeah!
I'm still thinking about the lyrics, now it's fine to eat the spine, which is more vivid and terrifying the more you think about it. Do you think cookie dinosaurs feel pain? If so, I've got a lot of penance to do. Oh no, wait, I forgot. I'm evil. No problem then. Dinosaur Grahams, that's Gur with 3 R's, were sold from about 1989 to 1999. During that brief, beautiful decade, these were a staple in my cookie time routine. I don't know who bought them or from where, and I can't remember whether they were the Salerno or Mother's version. Lou, the French biscuit company, also sold them in France. Let's take a look at that commercial too.
Llegan los nuevos Dinosaurus Lu, grandes, fuertes, como tú. Hechos de cereales, sanos, naturales, como tú. Dinosaurus Lu, la galleta gigante de cereales que alimenta a lo grande. Calidad Lu.
I really love the claymation in this one, representing the dinosaurs as cookie-like creatures. There's some good comedic timing in that tail slap. There was also a fair amount of merchandise. The very charming packaging, to say nothing of those wonderful, chonky dinosaur shapes, came with information cards featuring really cute art of the dinos along with some paleo facts. I distinctly remember them being about as big as my hand and having a nice feel and flavor, a thickness not usually found in graham crackers. They also came in cinnamon varieties and maybe chocolate, but I can't find any images. These cookies were popular enough to appear in magazine ads for completely different products, as though they were a staple of life in the period. However, the piece de resistance of Dinosaur Grahams material is this poster. I assume one of those promotions you could receive by sending out proofs of purchase. I love the incredibly lifelike dinosaurs drooling with desire as they square off over rights to the cookie versions of themselves. Mothers made the full-size cookies and mini Dinosaur Grahams, and you can bet all sizes appear on this poster. My favorite bit is this copy down below reading, "The dinosaurs depicted here did not all live at the same time or in the same place." I don't know who at Mother's was adamant about being both accurate and hiring one of the preeminent dinosaur artists of the day, but here I am appreciating it 35 years later. Who produced this gorgeous art, you're wondering? Well, it was Earl Norham, and here it is in the sketch phase. You may know Earl Norham from his Savage Sword of Conan covers. Along with writer Gary Girani and penciler Herb Trimpe, Earl Norham produced the Dinosaurs Attack series for Topps in 1988. They were reunited for an IDW series based on the cards in 2013, resulting in these incredible covers. Earl also did a lot of the early art for the He-Man series and was a working artist until his death in 2015. Truly one of the greats of the 20th century. But you know what really breaks my wicked heart? Spanish company RTX still makes these things, and even a cereal, but I don't want to pay to import them because it's gonna be expensive. Sad times we live in. I would just die to eat these again. Well, let's go to our next commercial.
Pretty! Oh, wasn't that a brontosaurus I just saw?
I don't know, Mom, but there goes a
Dinosaurs!
Aisle 6, ma'am.
Huh?
Welch's Jams and Jellies.
That's what they eat?
No, they're on these new Welch's jelly glasses, but they don't always stay there.
Wow, Tyrannosaurus!
Can we take them home? Well, good thing we brought the station wagon.
New dinosaur jelly glasses from Welch's. You can collect all 4.
I can't find any controversy surrounding Welch Foods Incorporated, founded in 1869 by Thomas Bramwell Welch, a man whose entire body appears to be a beard. The company is currently owned by the National Grape Cooperative Association, which purchased it in 1956. I'm just gonna say it. I dislike jelly. Fruit is best when it's fresh. This commercial, though, is great. We start off with a mom recognizing a Brontosaurus at a glance.
Brontosaurus?
There's a debate about whether Brontosaurus should be called Apatosaurus as the only member of its genus, but apparently a paper in 2015 proved that they were different species. I love the fancy grocery store man casually saying, aisle 6.
Dinosaurs!
Aisle 6, man.
Like this is the 100th time he's answered this question about dinosaurs today. Stegosaurus, always a greedy gobbler, truly one of the cows of the Jurassic era. We definitely had these glasses around the house when I was a kid. I think we had all of them, but since they debuted in 1989, I'm not sure how they were acquired because I was too young to be eating peanut butter sandwiches. Did my father buy them because he's a paleobiologist? Possibly, but his specialization is in the Devonian, Silurian, and Ordovician eras. Fake hops rise up. Anyway, amazing animation. I love this shot of the dinosaurs crammed between the aisles, and who wouldn't want this cute orange T-Rex to come home with him? Look how excited he is at the prospect. Very excited. Let's move on to our next ad.
Is your company still mired in the fax technology of the past?
No. Stupid idea.
Get a Mita plain paper fax machine with 33% better resolution than 90% of the fax machines in use today. Unless you'd rather stay in the Stone Age. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
He did what?
If this reminds you of the level of productivity in your office,
Ow! Bonehead.
there's something you should know.
It is. Who got the paper stuck in there? I just put new paper in. How'd you do it?
Buyers Lab gave every Mita copier they tested their highest rating for uptime. So if you want a more productive office, get a Mita. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
You didn't get your hand in it. Well, where am I gonna get the hand? It doesn't fit. I told you that was hard. You're not doing it right. Don't goof up, man.
Still working with prehistoric copiers?
Uh-oh.
Get a Mita. Every Mita copier Buyers Lab tested earned their highest rating for uptime.
You're gonna drop the paper. I'm not gonna
For a more productive future, the times demand Mita. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
Although these ads seem like they could be Will Vinton Studios, lots of commenters on YouTube insist they're Aardman Animations, who are doing these energy voucher ads around the same time.
Morning, Dad. Look what's dropped through the door. Money off vouchers that can save up to £300 on things like light bulbs, boilers, cavity wall insulation. And these energy-saving products will save money on fuel bills too.
Do you say we saved money? Good. I need a new coat.
Use your free energy-saving vouchers as soon as they drop through your door.
I'm a little skeptical, as Aardman is a London-based studio and these photocopier ads are clearly American. I hope people aren't just saying they're Aardman because they're claymation. That said, they didn't appear in any of the numerous Will Vinton commercial compilations floating around, so maybe those commenters are correct. Anyway, the hustle and bustle of the 90s office is on full display in these commercials, and technology we now view as outdated is pushed as the wave of the future. How cute. Line go up. Of course, all the toothy guys have my admiration, including the boss Tyrone Rex, but I quite like office ladies who appear to be inspired by Hadrosaurids, or perhaps Gallimimus. Dino nerds weigh in. There's a variety of delightful colors on display, and I don't know, I just love this era where fantasy did as much work in the depiction of dinosaurs as science. Of course, it's wonderful to have more and more accurate versions of what they were like based on the research of modern scientists, but there will always be room for inaccurate monster dragon takes on dinosaurs in my heart. There is a lot of Donald ducking going on in this ad, with the male dinosaurs wearing shirts and ties and nothing else. That said, the women are in dresses because we can't have anything lewd left out and swinging. If I were working in an office in the 90s, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't like this. I would make sure my hair frills were all primped and pretty for the boss. Then again, maybe office culture was and is as problematic as ever, and this is just a fantasy. Although it's a little hard to make out the detail of some of the dinosaurs in these ads, I was able to find 2 print ads with nice, still images of the puppets up close. I like the implication that your employees will turn into skeletons if you don't buy this high-speed copier. Frankly, I work at a desk, and the amount of extra paper flying around is totally out of control, so maybe we should cool it with the photocopies in triplicate. Let's move on.
Let's have breakfast at the Dinosaur Diner.
Nothing is finer than breakfast at the Dinosaur Diner. Dinosaurs, tiny dinosaurs like you never saw before. Fruity dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are a big part of this nutritious breakfast.
4 more balls.
They're coming up.
Nothing is finer than breakfast at the Dinosaur Diner. Dinosaurs.
New dinosaur cereal.
I've talked about this before, but with the law of the 30-year culture boomerang, the 50s were all over the place in the 80s. So were dinosaurs. We had approximately 5 million dinosaur movies to choose from, after all. I never had dinosaurs, but the idea of a cereal based around such a specific concept is absurd enough to work. The Apatosaurus diner with animated wagging tail is cute enough, but I love all these dinos and their uniforms, especially the buxom Triceratops waitress with her beak acting as smoochy lips. Believe it or not, there was merch for this cereal, including a sweatshirt, a hologram shirt I can only find mention of on this box, watches, and even little plastic figures. There were a number of promotions associated with the cereal, including the chance to win a trip to Disney World, a Nintendo, or a, quote, real fossilized dinosaur bone. Wow, I'll take the Nintendo. During my dig, I also unearthed stickers revealing the dinosaurs' names. We have Sarah Triceratops, whose job appears to be so obvious it's not worthy of mention, T-Rex, head of the kitchen. Let's cut to some box art for a few other characters, including Stego Stan, our prehistoric busboy, Buddy Brontosaurus, whom I'm assuming is a sous chef because he's tons of help, and... Huh. Okay. I think the most interesting part about this is not, in fact, Denver the last dinosaur, but the solid gold statue of Sarah Triceratops, the golden dinosaur, who can be found in specially marked boxes of dinosaur cereal. Apparently finding her wins you a trip to Knott's Berry Farm. Some of the box art on these is pretty amazing. Do you think this could be Earl Norm again? Gosh, I almost forgot Terry Pterodactyl, possibly the most useful of the dinosaurs because he saves the cereal that these big bipedal idiots send flying after they walk into each other. Apparently there is a second commercial somewhere out there for Dinosaurs crackers, but I can only find a few screenshots on an old website. Ralston Purina, founded in 1894 as Purina Mills, also made a lot of cat and dog food. So I'm assuming they just had a mold for dinosaur-shaped human food next to the tuna-shaped cat food in their factories. Sadly, the company is defunct. In 2001, it merged with child slave labor giant Nestle, whose main product seems to be controversy, including E. coli outbreaks and failing to comply with their own animal welfare pledges. But don't worry. You can totally boycott their products if you disagree with their practices by avoiding the items on this short list. If money is speech, then you and I are gagged by runaway corporate hegemony. Moving on.
Libby's Dino-Ghetti, mammoth dinosaur shapes in a dynamite tomato sauce. Also available in Dino Aioli with bite-sized ravioli.
Maybe you're beholden to this or that dinosaur food item, but let's face it, this commercial is as good as it gets. It makes me want my blood to run as hot red sauce, and my leukocytes to roar as dinosaurs. While at first the viewer is tempted into believing this might be a normal dinosaur commercial featuring a bunch of the beloved creatures packed into a cave, the second the lights pop up, T-Rex transforms into a pompadour guitarasaur with a voice as nice as his teeth. Backed by a band of the coolest creatures you'll ever see, we've got a sax-playing stego, a brontosaurus on drums, and this bonded chic Dimetrodon, who longtime fans of the show will know I continually explain is not a dinosaur but a synapsid, a human ancestor, whose scabrous visage lurks in your DNA. The band is playing to a packed house of dinosaurs with a full staff, including a full-figured parasaur waitress, and 3 pterodactyl backup singers with painted purple eyelids. Thank goodness they didn't skimp on the beautiful ladies in this commercial. I also can't get over the fat bartender Triceratops tough guy with a film noir accent who explains Dino Aioli is also available before eating the can whole. What a fella. Lastly, the quick group shot at the end goes by too quickly, so here it is paused for you to take it in. Worthy of being a poster, and I just now realized the Brontosaurus is using spoons instead of drumsticks. Incredible. Libby's was founded in Chicago in 1869, but circa 1970 it was acquired by, you guessed it, the dubious Nestle Corporation. Since then, the trademark is owned by some company in Switzerland and is licensed out to Nestle and ConAgra. Apparently Libby's accounts for the vast majority of canned pumpkin production in the US, and it is getting to be about that time of year. In 1996, Nestle sold Libby's canned pasta business to Heinz of Canada, hence why there are photos floating around of the same products with both Libby's and Heinz on the can. Remember when pasta came in shapes? It feels like there was a new collection of silly bands, pasta, every month or so. It wasn't just in cans either. Kraft was making Mario and Friends into mac and cheese around 1994, and let me tell you, little Aurelina refused to eat mac and cheese at all if it wasn't shaped like a small Italian man. The amount of longing these shapes instill in me is beyond description. This commercial didn't make my list, but I distinctly remember eating this dinosaur pasta from 1988, which must have still been on the market into the early mid-90s. Let's go to our next commercial before I get too hungry. These next ads comprise a series, so kick back, grab some Dino-Ghetti, and enjoy.
応援します。間違いキーキアートエルカード。暮らしに嬉しいサービスも充実。だからアートエルカードでキャッシング。
Please remember, darling, live with you. 君と始めようもう一度。How you happy content to
レイクはサポートキャッシング。
ボノボノレイク。
Why didn't I know this feeling till now?
ジェーン・スコットのアートがカードになりました。メリットが増えて便利に楽しくキャッシング。進化したレイクのアートエルカード。
応援します。
Oh, how do you feel? Good? Is your heart warmed? The L card is a product of Shinsei Bank, one of the largest financial institutions in Japan. Founded in 1952, it used to be called the Long-Term Credit Bank of Japan, but rebranded in 2000 to Shinsei, which means rebirth. Onobono means something like heartwarming or cozy, which definitely explains the feeling of the ads. The mini-stories contained in each ad run the gamut from cute carousel cards hefted by our characters, turned into tiny desk-sized dinos, to dates. From some digging on Japanese Wikipedia, I found that the characters have names: Runt and Ray. I found the 1990 single of one of the songs from one of the ads, complete with some nice art of our soon-to-evolve into lovebirds, and it lists the song as by Iori Tsubokura, a singer who didn't seem to blow up quite as much as others of the era. Shinsei hired Tsujino Yoshiteru to design Runt and Ray. You may know him as Torajiro Yoshiteru, illustrator of the Far East of Eden series of games. He's currently responsible for setting, character, and poster designs for Zenshu, an anime that came out this year. Pretty cool, right? It's so nice to see how the threads of the past connect to the present like this. I don't know what's going on with Runt, because he seems to be on the outs with dino and human women half the time. My favorite ad is the first one I saw, consisting of Runt pulling a late night at the office and getting yelled at by his big, fat, bushy-eyebrow T-Rex boss. Ray brings dinner for the two of them, and the boss, clearly drunk like any good after-hours Japanese office worker, comes barging in, only to see the romantic scene and slip back out with a huge grin on his face. He heads home, completely chilled out by the sight of young love. It's so cute. The universe of characters Yoshiteru created is huge. Here they are on a phone card from the era. I also managed to find, I kid you not, a modern doujinshi focusing on Ray. Now that's the kind of thing I hope to find, but never imagine when I search for these old characters. Fan art. I can't get over the sheer number of these ads, and I've got one more I've been saving for you. There's 2 versions of this one, so let me show you both.
応援します。ほのぼのローン。
ほのぼのレイ君。
します。ほのぼのローン。
ほのぼのレイ君。
The tail curl between Runt and Ray is adorable, but check out the boss and his underling. I don't think there's any other possible way to interpret the boss trying to curl his tail around his male subordinates, and then, while they share the umbrella, trying to kiss him. Very progressive for 1990s Japan. By the way, who were the mascots for the lake card before Runt and Ray? Why, the Flintstones, of course. Wow, here they are showing up twice in one episode. If you've ever wanted to see Dino making out with adult Bam Bam while Pebbles watches, cackling, now's your chance. I hope you've enjoyed this era of dinosaur commercials. Discovering all these cuties and sharing them with you has been a sincere pleasure, and if anyone has a dinosaur fursona, please let me know in the comments. As always, thank you to my wonderful Laserdisc Patreon supporters. For only $5, I will unearth your name and ignite a century of debate as to its place in the prehistoric fossil record. So thank you, Eli Fox, Aaron the Wolf, Spatchadoo, Goblin Horde Studios, Wisebear 288, Kalanitas, Ferret Fire, King Bud Stallion, Starlight Prancer, Nobody 26, Iris J, Aldraki, Pathia Red Toner, Dr. J, PhD in moon bunnies. Felis Rin, Warbird, Carrot Azerti, Kaosu, Jimbo Husky, Tosca, Clotzilla, Neon Tapir Guts, Kadath, Dwarnassus, Chrono Flash, Dominic Foxley, Victor the Mewtwo, Kilbaro Khan, Delano Possum, Alex McFall, Joe the English Otter, Silly Scotty Dog, Kooky Trails, Alexel, Stubadub, Crown, Norman Whitetail, Goddle Drury, Princess Isabella, Vera Lycaon, and Miorta. Well, that's all. See you in 65 million years.